So they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going off to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up, hey. 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 Way down in the back.
Hey, we are live and we are back better than ever. Welcome to the Tigers Avenue Thursday edition. Zach, I feel like we need to apologize. It's been a minute. We have had quite a hectic, crazy schedule. But we are excited to be back here in the Tigers Avenue. We've also been trying to work out some really cool things schedule wise, and so we've had some busy schedules. Zach's been going to camp. I've been going to camp and vacation and whatnot, and it's been a little hectic. It's kind of how it goes during the summer with ministry and whatnot, Zach, as you know. But we're here, and we're glad to be on the show tonight. And we got a great show for you guys tonight. Obviously, I mean, Zach, there's a lot we need to cover from the last time we had a show.
Media days.
SEC Media Days. We need to talk about, kind of MLB draft, a little postseason baseball stuff. Jay Johnson working his Portal King magic the way he typically does. So lots to talk about, lots to cover. But we got a special guest in the house tonight. Zach and I have been trying to work this out schedule-wise. It's really been our fault, not Cade's whatsoever at all. It's been our fault, not his. So you can blame us for the delay. But we got the Bayou Bambino himself, Cade Beloso, in the house. Zach, bring him in here. Round of applause. The Bayou Bambino. I can't even spit it out. The Bayou Bambino himself. Cade, how you doing, man? There it is. How you doing, man? Good to have you on.
Man, great. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And look, I had to make it clear, like, it was us. It's not you. I mean, we probably could have had a show, like a week or so ago on a Monday.
I blame Reagan. I don't know about me. I blame Reagan. He's the one that was like, hey, I can be there. And then he's like, hey, just kidding. I'm not going to
be there. Look, we had like a 9.5 hour trip from Destin, Florida back home. I mean, we're pulling out like 8:30, right? And you think, okay, we'll be there in time. Well, when you got a 3-month-old, it doesn't work out that way, okay? and it didn't help that I got pulled over also. So the trip got delayed a little bit. Yeah, so I apologize. But we're here, and we're really glad to have you on, Kay. We appreciate you taking some time out of your day to hop on and do this. I mean, you've been kind of a hot commodity here lately. I mean, this is what, your fourth, fifth show now?
Man, it's been a wild 3 weeks, but in the best way possible.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's all great stuff, and I mean, your story is something that LSU fans will talk about for a long time. I mean, a story of resilience and perseverance. A hometown Louisiana kid who just wants to bleed purple and gold, and I mean, you gave the LSU fans exactly that, and you'll be loved by LSU fans for forever. History books of the LSU Tigers. I mean, Cade, come on. I mean, seriously, like I know that like just sounds crazy, but like you are. I mean, you will be. I mean, especially after game one. So to kind of start our kind of, we got a few questions we want to ask you, obviously, and discuss a few things. And that kind of leads to my first question, Cade. So correct me if I'm wrong, Cade. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you had 2 walk-off home runs in your career, correct?
No, just one.
Just the one. Okay.
Freshman year, week one.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, it was my first game ever
against Army. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so I was trying to count the game one walk as like a walk-off, but now I realized that was the top of the inning. So, Cade, I mean, walk us through Your very first game as an LSU Tiger, you hit a walk-off home run as a true freshman. And in your super senior season, game 1 of the World Series, you hit the game-winning home run in the 11th to make the score 4-3 against Florida. What is that feeling like when you hit that home run?
Yeah, obviously very good.
Yeah.
Just getting to play in Omaha with some of your best friends is one of the coolest things in the world, and even just being there as a fan and like a family member of the team, support staff, it's so cool, man. And it's such a special place, and something that I think everybody should get to experience at least once. And hitting a homer there is something you dream about as a kid.
Yeah.
Backyard playing wiffle ball with your buddies, and it's 3-2, and we're in the World Series, and when that really came true, that was pretty special.
Yeah. Pretty amazing, man. I mean, I can tell you for sure. I'm living in these college apartments, and I have one wall between me and other people. I guarantee you, every one of them heard me that night when you hit that home run. Every single one of them. Me and my 3-month-old had a mini celebration in my living room. So
good, love it.
Zach, what you got?
It's okay. I mean, by that point, you had been in the starting lineup. You were an everyday player then. By that point,
right,
on the starting lineup, early on in the season, you got a lot of pinch hitting opportunities, and you made most of those opportunities. And I got to be honest. Listen, Cade, I was for you, bro. I was one of those guys early on. I was beating that drum. I was like, we need Cade Beloso in the starting lineup. Like, get him in there. I trust Jay completely.
Yeah.
But I was like, we got to get this man some more ABs. Like, he's killing it right now. Every time he comes in, he gets a hit. Like, put him in the starting lineup. And so, sure enough, Jay Johnson does that, and I'm like, let's go. And it was just the rest is history, right, for the rest of the season. So, what was that like early on, coming into the season? Obviously, kind of being a little bit on the back seat, but getting several opportunities. And you knew Jay was going to do that with this team. There's just so much talent, so many guys to get ABs. What was that like early on as you were just patient and waiting your opportunities?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was fine. It was nothing I wasn't, prepared for. I was coming off a whole year of being a great teammate and only watching baseball games. So I kind of knew how to handle it in a weird way. But I mean, I didn't start the first 20 games of the season, but if you would have looked at the way Jared Jones was hitting at the time, I would have started Jared Jones too, man. He was playing incredible, and he's such a good player, and he's going to have a long career. But it wasn't my time. He was raking, and then I was going to get some chances, and then Tommy White gets hurt, and he was out for a month or so, however long that was. So I just kept being patient, kept working, kept being a good teammate, trying to make everybody around me better. And, I knew my time was going to come eventually, and, just be ready for the opportunity when it presented itself. Yeah. But I think when, you're not playing, it's easy to, get in your own way and stuff like that. But
for sure.
Man, just work really hard to be a good teammate and, keep getting better every day. I mean, I wasn't playing great leading up into the season, not like I was at the end of the year. I was still, fresh off of knee surgery, trying to figure out how to hit again and trying to get all my power back and stuff like that. And, I wasn't ready. I wasn't where I was, halfway through the year, even at the end of the year.
Yeah. So, Cade, a little bit on that injury since you brought it up. I mean, what was that like? I know 2021 – it wasn't the season you wanted.
Right.
I mean, a lot of expectation for you. I mean, your freshman season was amazing. Obviously, 2020 was what it was. Season was cut short. 21 didn't go the way you wanted it to. And then, man, 2022, it's like new coach. He's worked with you. We're hearing all these things, and you're in the lineup, man, and you tear your ACL. In the pregame huddle, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I was heartbroken for you. I really was.
We were,
and you were done for the season. I mean, I saw your video. I think it was with the SEC Network, posted it on their social medias and whatnot. Just about mentally, how do you kind of stay in the game. And obviously you were also, before this season, considering kind of hanging it up and moving on. So, how did you deal with that injury? And then ultimately, what led to you coming back and deciding, okay, I want to stick with this team? And then, how does it feel now that you did make that decision, considering what happened?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer when you look at it from now. But
hindsight's kind of 2020, right?
Hindsight's kind of 2020. But yeah, it was and a lot of people talk about you thought about quitting and stuff like that. It wasn't necessarily that I was ready to leave the game of baseball because I sucked or whatever. I just didn't know if I was going to be the same player after that.
Right.
And it was a 2-day span where I was just questioning myself and questioning everything, and snapped out of it. A lot of talks with support staff around me, and then Coach Jay, and ultimately God, and it just was a no-brainer to come back to LSU. Thought I deserved more than to end a career in college like that. So yeah, that was really all that went into it. But yeah, man, it's been a roller coaster for 5 years here. I had a great freshman year, and great sophomore year. Was off to a really good start, and then the pandemic happened, so that was weird. So I'm ready to get back in the swing of things, and the ball's not falling for me in 21. I'm hitting balls really hard and just getting to a big slump, and I'm like, all right, now I'm going to show everybody, prove everybody wrong. New coach, swing is feeling best it's ever felt. We have a really good team. I feel like I can make a positive impact, and just seeing all the pieces. Opening day, I'm batting behind Cade Beloso and Jacob Berry. Both are going to play in the big leagues here shortly.
No doubt.
Feeling the best I've ever felt, and then God throws that at me. So it was a curveball for sure, but nothing I couldn't handle. And I found out a lot about myself, and a lot about the people around me. For
sure. Well, we're obviously thrilled that you came back, and what a story. And that's what I mean, like, that will go down in the history books, Cade. That is a story that Tiger fans will remember forever.
Right.
The pinnacle of perseverance, and obviously we appreciate your faith and leaning on the Lord, in a time like that. Man, I'm a pastor, and I don't know if my faith would have been strong enough to endure that. I'd have been like, man, I'm done too. So I applaud.
It was kind of crazy, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but
no, you're good. You're good.
It was kind of cool, but we were, as soon as I had found out the injury was going on, blah, 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 and I had a lot of stuff going on off the field too. And, I had 2 major things happen in my life I'm not going to bring up, but,
sure.
kind of like the third thing in a row. I'm just looking around. I'm like, man, I don't know how much more I could take either, but, just going to church and, reading the Bible, and, really ultimately saved my life, and, got a couple people to thank for that.
That's amazing.
It really, in a way, saved my life. This injury was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And people look at me like I'm absolutely crazy when I say that, but
no.
Changed my life for the better.
Well, God likes to do that. He likes to take terrible situations and turn them for the better.
Make it something amazing. Yeah.
You may not come back for this season if that doesn't happen, right? We don't know.
Right. Yeah. And Coach Jay will tell you I'm probably not coming back.
Right.
Probably looking at other options in baseball, stuff like that. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but
sure.
I was playing really good at the time, and everything was clicking in the right way. And but God wanted me back this year for whatever reason, and it turned out to be really cool.
Turned out to be amazing, man. Amazing.
So, go ahead, Reagan.
Sorry. Amazing story, man. And I it gives me chills to think about that. And I was getting chills when you were kind of talking about that. Just faith and perseverance. Amazing story. So on a little bit more of a lighthearted note, so, man, we have heard all of your years at LSU from Ben McDonald and Lynn Rollins in the booth talking about your dad's Creole seasoning. Tell me a little bit about that. And is it really that good? And if it is, where can I get some?
Yeah, he has a little seasoning / sauce business that he he does, and yeah, it's pretty good. You can get it online at hotrodscreole.com. It's a little website. He's got a bunch of different products that a lot of people in Louisiana like.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're into good food and stuff like that, yeah, he runs a little business.
Absolutely. I am into good food, by the way. I am.
Yeah.
Zach, go ahead.
Well, following that lighthearted lighthearted line, Cade. Listen, so I've listened to a lot of the podcasts and shows you've come on. So Anthony Ronada, you went on his show not long ago. I heard you mention, the whole ESPN ordeal with Paul Skeens telling him how he outworks.
That is hilarious.
That was a great story. I heard the other day when Trey was sharing when they were at Canes about how Thatcher ordered DoorDash and it was Rhett Lauder's DoorDash and he just ate it. Like he just took it. And I was like, this is great. So on another lighthearted note, I got to pull this up. I don't know if you've been asked about this yet.
Right.
You might have been, and I just haven't seen it. But I got to ask. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Let me just go ahead and pull it up for us.
Oh, he's definitely
I got to ask
he's
about
definitely
this
seen
video.
it.
Okay. I've seen it, yeah.
You've seen this video, okay? Let's see what happens here.
Rocking that hair, man.
Yeah.
So you kind of get Gavin there. I got to know, Cade, what kind of happened in that situation there? And I want to know, did Gavin say anything after? Did you see the video after? Did you go back and talk to Gavin, or did Gavin go back later and talk to you about it? I just got to hear. I just feel like it's a funny story.
Yeah, man. In the moment, I literally couldn't feel my body. So much adrenaline and like kind of one of those blackout moments where you don't really know what's going on. One of the coolest moments of my life just happened and couldn't feel my body. Trying to sit down and calm down, talk to Gavin. Gavin's been my best friend for 5 years. One of my favorite dudes I've ever met, and just drinking water next to him, and I guess I just missed my mouth.
Aim was just a little off.
Aim was just a little too down. I was trying to watch. I want to say Paxton Kling was batting, so I wanted to watch Paxton's at bat.
Yeah. Got a little distracted.
Got Gavin right in the eye, and apparently he didn't like it.
I saw him retweet the video. I think it was SEC Network also retweeted or posted that. And Gavin quote tweeted it and said he didn't even apologize.
Yeah, I really didn't. I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on, man. He thought I did it on purpose. I was like, dude, I would never squirt you in the eye on purpose.
That's great. Yeah.
It seemed like there was a lot of moments like that in Omaha. I mean, genuinely, it felt like it seemed like y'all had a great time and enjoyed yourself top of the success.
Yeah, hands down, the best year on a baseball field I've ever had.
Yeah.
Shared a lot of good moments with a lot of good people, throughout the years. Nothing compares to this. I don't think nobody deserved it more from a team standpoint. We earned it, man. Nothing was handed to us. It's not like we had a cakewalk SEC schedule or easy postseason schedule. We went through the gauntlet, and that's what makes it so much sweeter is knowing it was earned. Nothing was given. But yeah, just wouldn't rather do it with any other group of guys. Just I'm gonna talk to these dudes for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Kay, I am kind of curious. Obviously, in your tenure, I mean, you went through the coaching change.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary coach Paul Maneri. I mean, Hall of Fame coach. And then you transition to Jay Johnson, and second year, dude gets a national title. I mean, what was that transition like between Paul and Jay? And no knock on Paul whatsoever by any means, because he's a Hall of Famer. But what about Jay brought that immediate success? Like in his coaching, I mean, what was it like? Because it just feels like he is on top of everything and really aggressive. So, I mean, what was that transition like, and maybe why the immediate success with the coaching change?
As soon as the word or the name Jay Johnson gets thrown out, the term that comes to my head is just relentless. He's just relentless in everything he does, coaching, recruiting, developing, winning. He's the most driven person in the entire world. and especially in the sports industry. Nobody wants to win and, have more fun doing so than him. And he's so easy to buy into. And, I would die for that man. He's given me so much, in my life and, just stuff I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life and stuff like that, life lessons, etc. And, so glad that, we got him a national championship, because he deserves it more than anyone.
Absolutely. It was really special to see the pictures with Jay and Paul too. I love it.
Like, Jay tells me to go to war with him tomorrow. I'm ready to roll 5:30 in the morning. Where you need me? It's
awesome.
That type of relationship.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, to wrap it up, Cade, what does the future look like for you, man? We know you had to hold off a wedding. So we know that's coming up here soon as well. But what does the future look like? Is there still some baseball potentially involved, or what does it look like for you? What are you looking to do?
Yeah, man, I think I'm done playing. Got a couple calls in the draft, but nothing really went through, stuff like that. But man, I think I'm done playing, and
it's a good way to go out.
Yeah, went out the best way possible, man. Have no regrets, and it's been fun. Been different, but it's been fun. Seeing the other side of life without sports. But man, just probably find a job, get my 401k rolling or something like that.
Right.
Play a lot of golf and spend some time with a lot of time with friends and some family.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine like what that kind of transition is like. Like you just came off a national championship, now you're like, oh man, like I need to
what do I do?
Get married and get a job. And it's kind of hard to come down, come down from that kind of like emotional high. I mean, wow, I couldn't even imagine, man. But
man, it didn't feel real for about really 2 weeks, and finally now, I think we're 3.5, 4 weeks away or whatever it is. It's finally starting to settle in. Everybody going their own ways and stuff like that, and which sucks, but it's good at the same time. But the first weekend we was like, oh, I feel like we have another series to play this weekend or something like that. You wake up at like 9:30, like, oh, I missed something.
What's next? Yeah. Unfortunately,
it's finally starting to settle in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, times of life, they come to a close, and man, what better way for this chapter to close in your life? With a super senior season, and considering all that happened in your time here, and to top it off with your closest friends, and Gavin and other guys as well. To top it off with that,
I was talking to Ronaldo about this and on his podcast, and he was a little jealous because he was like, man, like in 2009, we didn't get the cool videos and the cool pictures like you guys.
Social media
wasn't big. Yeah, we got very generic stuff. He brought it to my attention. I didn't even think about it, but he's like, y'all get to relive these moments like almost like you're there again with just the media now and the type of angles, the videos and stuff like that.
Dude.
So that's pretty cool.
The NCAA has all 3 games. Full games on their YouTube channel. I mean, you can go watch them right now.
And compared to 2009, you can pull up like some highlights from game 1. I struggle to find game 3 highlights. Yeah,
I can tell you exactly what happened in that game. That's crazy.
No kidding.
Because man, how old were you during that game? Because I mean,
the same age as me.
9. I was
9.
Okay, so, wow, that's crazy.
I remember it very well. I saw an interview, just to kind of, we're kind of rambling now, but dude, I saw an interview. I think it was something, may have been Omaha or, anyways, but somebody was interviewing you, and they asked you about what it was like to grow up and wanting to be LSU Tiger, and it was just crazy. You named like Mason Katz and some other guys, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is who Mikey Matuk and Jared Mitchell, and I was like, man, these are guys we grew up watching and who made us fall in love with LSU baseball, and like now, like we, you, Cade Beloso, here you are. I was just thinking, like, man, it's got to mean everything to him. It's got to mean everything.
And it's true, man. Like, I mean, I'm not just saying that to say it, and
for sure.
My goal is to inspire the next generation and stuff like that, and the generation after that. But it's 100% true. I'm I don't really watch a lot of TV, but I like YouTube a lot at night and stuff like that. And I'm watching YouTubes of the 2009 National Championship Series.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing Ryan Schimpf hit the ball over the yard. Jared Mitchell's triple still gives me chills to this day. And
yes,
Mikey Matuk's flying around the field, and Renato's striking out dudes with fastballs at the top of the zone, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's where my love for LSU baseball really, really took off. And Matty Yacht's coming in with a slider, mowing people down at the end of the game. And, that's what I wanted to be.
We literally have Zach. We literally have pictures from the 2009, maybe in like 2010, the season after, in Oxford with like Matty Ott and Chris Cotton and I'm like, little 9-year-old Reagan and Zach's little dick of 13-year-old, amazing stuff. And here we are, 2023. We finally get another national championship. So, man, congratulations on everything. Congratulations on an incredible career. We're really glad you get to go out on top, and from LSU fans all over the world, thank you for everything you did. You will be remembered a long time. I mean, seriously, names like Mikey Matuk and Jared Mitchell, Cade Beloso is up there, and this was an amazing season. It was everything we could have ever wanted. So,
for sure,
appreciate your time, Cade, and we really appreciate you coming on and taking time. You've been fantastic. But we'll let you go. We went a lot longer than what we had originally told you, so I kind of expected. But anyway,
no, not don't just say apologize at all.
Thank y'all for having me. Y'all have a good rest.
Thanks, Cade. Have a good one, buddy.
I'll be tuned in for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, another fantastic interview here on TA. Appreciate Cade. What an amazing season it was for him. A great interview from him, and man, I love getting the insight of players like that. Amazing. All right, we need to hit a quick break real quick, and boy, we need to cover a lot in a little bit of time. So let's do that. Let's hit a quick break, and we'll talk about all those things coming up right after this. 5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all his other music on all the major platforms. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and at Twitter at OneNationDoty. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page for all his Saints and LSU merchandise. Can't get any better than Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Her firm focuses on the needs of the elderly and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. All right, right back at it here in the Tigers Avenue. Lots to talk about. Zach, this week, obviously, SEC Media Days. Hey, there's RP. Great interview. Good luck on your next step, Cade.
Yeah, the comments are lacking a little bit tonight.
Yeah,
I know it's been a while.
Yeah, it's kind of our fault. Kind of
our fault.
RP, we need to get the crew back in here. RP's faithful. RP needs to go find the crew on Twitter. Tell them to get in here. Comment so we can discuss some things.
Well, listen, Ray, I got to be honest, man. Look, I've been gone for feels like 2 weeks, so you're gonna have to kind of hold it down on this end of the show because, man, I've seen a little bit here and there. Like I had breaks.
It's off season for sure. Purgatory, sports purgatory.
I had breaks from like 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day, and that was it. So, like, it was go sit down, rest, recover from the sunburn, rest the voice a little bit, and scroll through Twitter to see what's going on with SEC Media Days. And that's all I got. That's all I got.
Oh, look, I mean, I'm right there with you. I did get to watch Brian Kelly's podium time, though. So I did get to watch that, which was great. Look, here's what you need to know about SEC Media Days is there was no outstanding things that were a problem that tends to, I feel like, happen at LSU at SEC Media Days. There's negative storylines. And second year under Brian Kelly, none of that exists. It is all positive things. We're talking about football. We're talking about football players. We're talking about potential and record and can LSU win the SEC West back-to-back? They look to be the favorite. those type of conversations is what was going on at SEC Media Days, and it's exactly what we want as LSU fans. And to be honest with you, Zach, that's all. Things like SEC Media Days, like it's just, you know, in all reality, it's just a like, all right, let's get them together. Let's have the big hoorah before the season. You know, big media ordeal, players, coaches, and like it's not really a big thing, if that makes any sense. Like pertaining to, you know, the actual play on the field or actually what's going on. In all reality, I think it's more about the media personnel themselves than it is the players and the coaches. Just being honest, from what I see, it's more about media kind of connections and whatnot than it is those coaches and players. But you do get snippets and whatnot of everything, and they discuss about the things that, you know, everybody wants to discuss. Here's what we just, you know, mostly heard in terms of LSU, and it's all positive things. Is Jaden Daniels a real Heisman contender? I believe he actually is. Is he the best quarterback in the SEC? I think the answer is debatable, but I think he definitely is up there.
KJ, you know, I think it's really that argument is going to be between
KJ. It's between KJ and Jay.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
I think KJ is a great quarterback. I know a lot of LSU fans may think differently, and maybe that's a little biased.
He's a good quarterback
showing, but KJ is a really good quarterback.
Just dealt with some injuries. I mean,
yeah.
For a while there, he dealt with injuries because they were leaning on him so hard. I mean, if you want to be honest, he was like putting his body on the line for. Anyways, is Jaden the best quarterback in the SEC? Is he a real Heisman contender? And is LSU going to go back to back, you know, SEC West champions? And like those were the conversations. So it's a lot of positivity coming out of SEC Media Days, and a lot of the conversation was like leaning towards that. Like, yes, like guys like Paul Feinbaum and Latore. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's the guy who always commentates with Greg McElroy and Roman, and like they gushed on LSU a lot. And Paul Feinbaum and Roman were guys who picked Jaden and Latore. All three picked Jaden to be the best quarterback in the SEC this coming year. So here's the reality of what has been discussed at SEC Media Days is that LSU's offense is going to put up numbers. Like they are going to score.
Yeah.
And if Jaden can push the ball downfield, it could be quite special, which he has worked on. Also, he's very obviously put on size. Somebody interviewed him at SC Media Days, and he said he's put on 15 pounds, and it's 15 pounds of muscle, guys. Like he's a lot stouter than he was last year. So I'm very excited from what I saw LSU wise coming out of SEC Media Days, because there just wasn't that much news, which makes me excited. In terms of Brian Kelly's podium time, you know, some of the questions were pertaining like one of the questions, guy brought up his accent again. I'm like, oh, like that. That's what I mean. Like that's what I mean. Like I don't really take SEC Media Days like too seriously.
Yeah.
And like, but some questions were good. I mean, they literally somebody asked him about the use of AI, and you know, Brian Kelly had a great answer for the use of AI and, you know, the ability to use it for planning and scheming and, you know, all these type of things. I really liked his answer there. And, of course, he was asked about NIL, and I think he gave a great answer with that as well. And of course, he was asked, you know, about his defense and what he wanted to see from it. And he gave fantastic answers. I don't remember everything word for word. But here's the reality of what I take away from it is that LSU fans need to be grateful for what we now have in Brian Kelly. You can get up there. He can take questions. He can answer them responsibly. People can understand what he's saying. If you're picking up my drift, people can understand what he's saying, and whatever he's saying is not off the wall, quirky, and crazy like we got from Miles every now and then. And it was buttoned up and nice and lighthearted. Like Brian Kelly is everything that LSU needs. I love the way that of course, Crane and Company is pretty big SEC show with the Daily Wire. Obviously, they were at SEC Media Days this week, and what Jake Crane says about Brian Kelly is just perfect. He says he is the stepdad that you never wanted, but you absolutely needed. He comes in, he makes you do your homework, he makes you clean your room up, he makes you have responsibility and accountability, and you hate him for it. But then you realize, oh, wow, all these things are really great for me. And that's exactly what LSU needed. And you have it now. And a lot of the topic of conversation was also consistency. LSU can be at the top of the football world at any given time with talent and what they can bring in from the state of Louisiana. The problem is consistency.
Yeah.
And Brian Kelly does consistency better than anything. He consistently wins everywhere he goes. And now he's got a recruiting base and an unlimited resource that he has tapped into in LSU that he can pair with his consistency and his methods, and it brings a lot of success. So I think Jake Crane hits it square on the head when he describes it in that way. So if you want my opinion on SEC Media Days, I don't really take too much from it. I think a lot of it can be coach speak at times. And, guys, they train these guys before they go to SEC Media Days to answer properly. So sometimes you also even just get canned answers from the players. So whatever happens at SEC Media Days, I always just take it with a grain of salt. It's always a laid-back environment anyways. But what I've taken away from it from the past 2 seasons is that there has been no issues whatsoever, news-wise, scandal-wise, problems. We got to listen and to hear people talk about LSU and how they can be successful, and can they be consistent. And that's what I loved about it. It was refreshing. It was refreshing to say the least. So that's pretty much what sums up SEC Media Days at. So you didn't miss one.
It'll be here before you know it. The college football season will be here before we know it. This next show we're going to be starting our series that we do annually. I say that like we've been doing it forever. We did it last year. We're going to do it again this year.
Our annual series.
Yeah, breaking down all of the position groups. We will start that, I guess, Monday. We need to kind of get back into a routine of doing our shows now that we've wrapped up all of our vacation time and all that good stuff. So Monday we will begin.
I'm preaching a camp next week, by the way.
Oh boy. Okay. When are you done? When are you done?
I am literally preaching a camp next week.
Does it end Thursday?
Yeah, it does end Thursday. So we can have a show
we'll
one week from there, or Friday. That's fine.
So we'll go Friday and then Monday again. That's what we do. We're just airing it out right here on air, just giving you our plans, what we're doing. So Friday, not Monday. That's okay. It'll be about a week, from what we're doing right now. Things have been pretty interesting on the recruiting front. A lot of things have been discussed about Colin Simmons and Caden Durham. I know that those are really big topics as of right now with those two guys. I'm very interested to kind of get back now that I'm back home and back in the routine. I'm very interested to kind of get some more insight onto that and figure out how that's going for LSU and how they're doing.
We're knocking that door over at Duncanville. Man, we've been recruiting well over in Duncanville.
Yeah, we sure have. What outside of the recruiting, what's transfer portal been looking like? I know obviously Holman has visited. I know for me, I'm still watching Braden Montgomery and what he decides to do ultimately. Would love to see him become a Tiger. So what have you been hearing this week since I haven't been hearing anything?
it's tough with Braden Montgomery because he's very hush hush. Like there's
no contact.
It's a no contact. You're not hearing a lot at all around Braden Montgomery. All I know from Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, like if you want to know the scoop on baseball, college baseball, go follow Kendall Rogers. He is the Adam Schefter of college baseball. Like if Kendall's reporting it, it is 100% true.
It's happening.
100% true. It is happening. So if you want like the good scoop, go follow Kendall Rogers on Twitter. He's with D1 Baseball. But what I've seen from Kendall is like he doesn't even have a lot. All he has said is that he's been taking some visits. I don't know where, and I haven't even heard that one of those visits were LSU. So LSU may not even be on his list. But in terms of the latest update, I mean, Zach, we haven't even got to discuss these things. Our last show we talked about them. But in terms of Luke Hill, we talked about Luke Hill. He has committed to Ole Miss. Yeah. And I would have loved to have Luke Hill. And honestly, if Luke Hill came to LSU, he would be your shortstop next year. But you are very crowded in that room already. Yeah. You're pretty crowded in that room already. You brought Braswell in. Obviously. Right. You got Gavin Guidry, and you got Napolt, and you're bringing in Miliam from New Hampshire, the number one player in the state of New Mexico. By the way, last time we got the number one shortstop out of New Mexico, turned out pretty good.
Yep.
Turned out pretty darn good. You know a guy named Alex Bregman? Anybody?
Yeah.
So he's coming to campus. And of course you got Braswell. So you got like 5 middle infielders there. So you're kind of crowded there, and the portal is already closed. So it's like, it's not like if he wants to come, Braswell can re-enter the portal anymore. Like, because it's a done deal. It's closed. So I'm okay with him going to Ole Miss. I hate that it's Ole Miss, but I'm okay with him going elsewhere. I'm not too upset about that. The one that kind of came out of nowhere that was on nobody's radar was Mac Bingham, the outfielder from Arizona, a huge, high-profile recruit or portal player. Batted .360 last year, 10 home runs, elite defender in the outfield, electric speed, all Pac-12 outfielder, first team. So, I mean, you landed an incredible player. According to D1 Baseball, he was one of the high-profile players in the portal, and just out of nowhere, guess what? There he is. Jay Johnson brings him in. Matt Bingham obviously played for Jay Johnson. He will be a super senior next year at LSU. He will be a one-and-done player. It's his 5th year. It'll be his COVID season. So Jay and him have a little history. I mean, if we're talking – so Jay recruited him and brought him, and he played for Jay for 2 years. So I think it'll be a great fit. There's already some familiarity there. Obviously, he's great talent, good at the plate, good in the good defensively. It's a great addition. You're going to need somebody, to go out there and replace, Braden Joe Bear's bat. So it's a big addition. But in regards to that, Zach, it's like, okay, does that mean Braden Montgomery is not an option?
That's what I was thinking. Robert says in regards to Braden Montgomery, he has visits to A&M after the USA competition, and I'm pretty sure Mississippi State and Ole Miss as well.
Correct. And, of course, Braden Montgomery is from Mississippi. He's from Mississippi, and some people are saying, it's probably going to be one of the Mississippi schools, which would suck, but it is what it is. If I had to choose, I'd be like, man, go to State. Go to State. Please go to State. Go to State. And I'd be okay with that. So, what was I trying to say? So Braden Montgomery, and with us getting Mac Bingham, maybe Braden Montgomery isn't an option. Maybe we're not on his list. So be it. We'll see. The reality is, though, Zach, you have a lot of talent still on the roster that Jay has recruited. So if you don't land every single portal player, like guys, he brought in the number one class last year. You got guys like Zeb Brudell and Mick Paul that, hey, they redshirted this last year. and they may take a step up this year and start getting some play time and getting some looks. So in the future, you can use that number one class. So we don't want to always rely so heavily on the portal. The portal is great. I mean, if you have an amazing player and he wants to come play for you, you get him. If Mac Bingham wants to play for you, you get him. If Tommy White wants to come play with you and there's a chance, you get him, right? So, but you also at the same time don't want to do that all the time because you want to bring the best high school recruits that you possibly can to campus. And if all you're doing is going to the portal, a lot of guys probably may lean more heavy on going to the draft than coming to campus because they see you're just a portal plucker. So, I think there needs to be some balance there, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing this year. We've got some really great players. You need pitching arms, and you've gone out and got that, and you needed a few position players, and you went and got that, and Michael Braswell and Bingham, and you may add another arm in Luke Holman, Zach. And Luke Holman was on campus yesterday at LSU, had a visit, so maybe you land Holman. Honestly, I think Holman is your last one. I think Holman is your last one.
Gets him, and then they're done.
I think if you let they land Holman, I think that's it. I do.
Okay.
That would be my prediction. I think Holman is the last one you get if you get him. If you get him, I really don't know where we stand on that right now. Yeah. I kind of like our chances to get Holman. But I think he's your last
championship. You got Cade Woods there already.
Right.
So, it's a good chance.
Sure.
Kevin Ray asked, how many players do you have on a college baseball roster? Well, for D1, you can have a 40-man limit on a roster size.
Which stinks, dude. You get 11.7 scholarships. Think about that.
Yeah.
11.7 scholarships.
Yeah.
That stinks. I don't know how that works out, but anyways.
Yeah, I thought it was 32. I thought 32 student athletes could receive baseball scholarships.
You may be right, but I know it is limited compared to other places because
it was like 27, and now I think it's 32.
Oh, really? I may be way off then. I thought it was a lot lower number.
Somebody Google it for us. How many can be on a college baseball roster and how many scholarships can you give out? That'd be the question. Hey, so I do want to ask this, okay? We also saw some guys.
Hey, we need to talk about the draft too, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Okay, good.
Jake Brown has officially announced that he is coming to LSU, and I'm missing another one. Obviously, we knew about
Cameron Johnson.
I think did we not already discuss him coming, or we were saying it was
not on the show? I mean, it's official now. But
it's official now. Cameron Johnson is coming to LSU. Jake Brown's coming to LSU. I feel like there's one more in there. There's probably a couple more in there that I'm missing.
I haven't heard about Ashton Larson. That's an outfielder that was drafted in the 20th round. High-profile player coming out of high school. He was drafted in the 20th round. He has 5 days to decide, if I remember correctly. He still has 5 days to decide whether he's going to sign his contract or come to campus. But Ashton Larson is our other big-time recruit that got drafted in the 20th round, him and Cam Johnson. So I haven't heard any official from Larson yet, but I would love to get Larson to campus. But, guys, Zach, Cam Johnson is the highest-rated player you have ever had to campus.
Ever. Including Dylan Cruz.
Like, yo, we got a lot of left-handed pitching. A lot.
Yes. It seems like that is just a thing for him. It's crazy to think that
he talks about it a lot. He really does.
It's crazy to think that a couple of years ago we had one or two guys on the roster that were lefties.
Yeah.
And now you are just filled to the brim with lefties.
Yeah. So Zach, also, in other news, Christian Little, he did get drafted in the 19th round. He's coming back. Maybe can work with Yeski to kind of get things back on track, get things together, and maybe have a lot more successful season. I'm really glad that Christian Little's coming.
Well, he's got the stuff. He's got the stuff.
He does have the stuff.
A lot of people. I hated to see that. A lot of people were like, "Man, I just wish he would go." Like,
I think it's a mental game with him.
Look,
it's a mental thing.
We forget whenever Thatcher Hurd was going through his struggles and he couldn't find his own, right?
For sure.
Sometimes it just takes guys working through that, and we saw it. We saw it pay off for Thatcher Hurd. Maybe Christian Little's timing is just different, right? Maybe his timing is during this off season and he hits his stride. We don't know, right? We're not the coaches. We're not the one working with him, and we're certainly not him. So let's wait to see how that plays out for this upcoming season.
Obviously, some other guys that I haven't seen make a decision yet is Javen Coleman. I haven't seen Javen Coleman's official decision yet. But guys like, Jordan Thompson, Gavin Dugas. Gavin's obviously out of eligibility, but, Trey Morgan, Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens, Blake Money, Riley Cooper, all those guys are gone. Ty Floyd. Hey, by the way, Zach, Ty Floyd.
I know. Well,
first rounder.
Early on, I was questioning it, and it became very evident.
Well, he boosted that draft stock.
He boosted
that draft stock. His last performance, he put on.
I was basing that off of the beginning of the season, right. Which is what I said. And then as the season went on, it was very evident and very clear that he was not coming back.
No doubt. He's a great arm. The Reds are going to be very pleased with Ty Floyd. No doubt about it.
For sure.
No doubt about it. I haven't heard from Javen Coleman. Christian Little's coming back. I'm trying to think about. I think that's it in terms of like recruits and players and their decisions.
I feel like there's more high schoolers that decided to make their way to LSU that I'm forgetting.
Oh, well, Jake, the big ones is Milam, Jake Brown, Johnson, and we're waiting on Larson. I think I'm pronouncing I think it's Milam. It's Steven, so we can just say Steven, but out of New Mexico. But Cam Johnson's the big one. I mean, that's huge. That guy was literally projected to be a third, like top 3 rounds. Like,
that
was incredible.
Based on his talent, he had his number,
dude.
I mean, when you throw, as Robert said, when you throw 100 from the left side, man, you should be getting some big money.
Yeah,
and he didn't get the number that he wanted, and so, good for LSU. Good for LSU. I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, dude. Like our pitching staff, like recruiting wise, like we've done well in the portal, like getting pitchers, but recruiting wise, our pitching staff has been very good. Very good.
Grant Taylor will not be returning. I think we also found that.
Yeah, obviously. I mean,
we might have mentioned that in the last podcast. I can't remember. It's been so long, Reagan, man. I'm tired. My voice is hoarse. You can tell I'm sunburned. It's man. I tell you what, I might go to bed after this.
Go night. There's one player I wanted to talk about in this recruit. We need to talk about the recruiting class as a whole here. Cade Anderson, he's coming to LSU as well. Another left-handed pitcher. That was the second-ranked guy. Jake Brown was the number 1 player in the state of Louisiana. Cade Anderson was the second-ranked player in the state of Louisiana, and both of them left-handed pitchers. Obviously, Blake Mitchell, he was our highest-rated commit. Dude was the 8th pick in the draft. So, yeah, he's gone. He's gone. He's definitely gone. I'm trying to, MJ Sayo. Somebody just mentioned him, 2-way player. He's good out of Plano. Where's the Mitchell player? That's who I'm looking for. He's a switch hitter. Jake Brown, Dylan Thompson. Maybe that's next year's class. I'm thinking of 2024's class. My bad. But LSU has put together another great high school class. Some freshmen that can make immediate impacts. I mean, you're talking about Jake Brown and Cameron Johnson, like immediate impact type players. Even maybe Larson can get in the mix if he decides to come. But man, the recruiting, like Cade Beloso said, Zach, I mean, he is relentless. He is relentless. And look, this is no knock on Paul Maneri, but Paul Maneri wasn't doing this in recruiting. He was not doing this. He brought great players. Trey Morgan, Dylan Cruz. But in terms of like quantity of players like this, it's new. It's brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Derek Mitchell. Yeah,
you always count on RP to help us out.
Switch hitter with elite speed. There it is. RP. Derek Mitchell, switch hitter. So he is for this class. That's what I thought. I couldn't find his name. I'm pretty excited about Derek Mitchell. I'm pretty excited about Derek Mitchell as well. Like lightning speed. So this class, Zach, again, you get Cameron Johnson out of the draft and get him to come to campus.
Jake Brown out of the draft.
Jake Brown. So, man, it is another special class that he's put together here. And we talk about Dylan Cruz left, Trey Morgan left, Jordan Thompson left, and Gavin Dugas and Cade Beloso.
We did also find out that Hayden Travinsky's coming back. And Alex Milazzo is coming back.
Yes.
We found those out as well. Blake Money announced today that he was leaving, which was expected. So, ultimately, I think the only thing that went differently than we thought was I kind of thought Braden Joubert might stick around. He ultimately did not. But you got Cam Johnson, you got Jake Brown. I know it's not the same position, but, it kind of equaled out. And I think in some ways it was you came out on a better end than you thought you would.
Yeah, you did. You really did. The job that he continues to do, in recruiting in the portal is amazing. It really is. And to get guys like this out of the draft, this is what he did with Chase Shores and Paxton Clean last year with Ashton Larson and Cam Johnson. That's what he's doing here.
Correct.
Amazing stuff.
Kevin Ray, he asked us, he said, I'm 52 years old. How old are y'all, if you don't mind me asking? Well, Kevin, you are old enough to be our dad because our dad is 53. So, I'm the oldest of four. I'm 26.
I'm 23. With Zach, that was great. That kind of blew my mind when I realized both you and me are older than Cade. That kind of blew my mind.
I figured I would.
I knew you were. But when he was like, I just turned 23, I was like, oh wow, we're both older than him.
Robert said he's 33. He also said he thinks Coleman's going to sign.
Okay. I kind of expect Coleman to sign as well.
There's a lot of lefties.
A lot of left-handed pitchers in this. So yeah. We're bringing in 2 left-handed pitchers out of the portal so far in Gage Jump, Justin Lower, and you got, I think, 3 left-handed pitchers coming to the recruiting class, and then you're returning, Griffin Herring, Nate Ackenhausen. Lots of lefty pitching.
Plenty.
So, love it.
Your pitching staff is going to be very dominated by lefty.
And Zach, that's what I was about to say is I don't think, I'm not thinking next year we'll win the national championship again, but I don't think we're going to have this major fall off that people are expecting. I really don't.
They'll be competitive, obviously. They'll be competitive and
yes,
they'll be good. We'll see.
I'm excited about it. I don't think Jay Johnson wants to just be like, well, we won a natty. All right. No, I think he wants to win more. So
let's go back to back.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. He's relentless. All right, Zach, we're an hour in. I think we need to hit one more quick break. We'll come back, get to a few more comments, and we'll wrap this show up right after this. Make sure you go follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Tigers Avenue, for daily updates on the show and all things LSU sports. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to click off and hit that subscribe button at Tigers Avenue. We broadcast all of our shows live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All right back in it here to wrap things up. Zach, let's get to a last few more of these comments here. Throw those up there. Let's see. And Anderson, coming off Tommy John, he didn't pitch this year for high school. Okay, so Cade Anderson didn't pitch this year, so he'll be, I guess, kind of fresh off Tommy John. So we'll have to see how that plays out for him. We got anything else in there, Zach?
I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah, and Sayo is going to be a good one.
We've covered. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Kevin, I didn't get to this one. Kevin said,
Man, I've never watched that much college baseball in my life. And I first started watching LSU baseball early 90s, late 80s. Wow.
We started it in a great time. We started 2009, and we haven't stopped since.
Yep.
I mean, I remember Matty Ott having just like following that season, Matty Ott just having a dominant 2010.
Yeah, he did. He was probably our best pitcher on the staff that year. So amazing season this year though, and man, it was a great show. Really appreciate Cade coming on and
even though it was about 2 weeks late.
Look, you got him on. We got him on. Talked to him. That was amazing. What an experience, Zach. This show has done some pretty cool things for us.
Yeah,
maybe some even cooler things to come. So
potentially,
maybe some more cooler things to come.
You never know. So be on the lookout. This upcoming next few weeks, we may just drop a surprise show on you. So be ready. Zach, how do we turn on notifications? You need to turn on the notifications for us. That's up to our viewers, our subscribers.
You need to turn the notifications for when we tweet because there may be a surprise show. So be on the lookout. You never know what might happen. This show has done some great things for us, Zach. I mean, we just got to talk to the guy who won you Game 1 in the World Series, Cade Beloso. Wow. This is amazing. Y'all are amazing. Appreciate y'all's interaction tonight. Looking forward to getting back into the groove of things. Summer is always busy for me and Zach, but we appreciate y'all being patient. I enjoy y'all's show. Keep it up. Appreciate you, Kevin. We love doing it as well. People like y'all make it a lot of fun.
It's good to be back.
And also, Zach, I mean, being LSU fans is a lot of fun too because we do a whole lot of winning. That was Brian Kelly's opening line in SEC Media Days. You want to know the opening line? We got a lot of national championships on the mind here. So
he kind of set himself up there. I ain't gonna lie.
He did. Expectations are very high for football season. I'm excited.
Championships here. Jay Johnson won one. Kim Mulkey won one. We'll see what happens in year 2.
Correct.
Brian Kelly.
Correct.
We're making that transition now.
For sure. So, hey, be sure to tune in. Next week, we'll let you know when we'll be having our show, and we will start our series on breaking down each position group for the football season. So, guys, it's right around the corner. We're going to start talking about it here before you know it. We'll be talking about fall camp. So tune in next week. We'll let you know when that is. Appreciate y'all. It's been a great show. We'll catch you next time here in the Tigers Avenue. 5-Star Hero, take us out. Peace.